Hi everyone, I'm your host Mary Van Rose, and you're watching Healthy Living in the Bronx. Today's episode, I have a special guest joining me in the studio, Joanny Campuzano. She is a licensed acupuncturist. Hi, Joanny.
Hi, Mary.
How you doing today?
I'm really good. Thank you for inviting me.
So I am so excited for this conversation because we actually met at a wellness event. And I was just talking to you, and I don't know why. I try to avoid the conversation about what do you do for work. I feel like there's so many more interesting conversations to have, but I did ask you. And you told me you were what?
A licensed acupuncturist.
Was my face like super shocked?
Of course.
It was, right. So what, we'll talk about why I was shocked later, but I wanted to know, why did you become an acupuncturist?
I became an acupuncturist because I feel like it's a holistic medicine. It's not just about pushing prescription drugs. I always wanted to be in the health field, and I was looking for something that I would be able to help others in a natural way. And I felt like acupuncture was like the perfect gateway for that.
So when you first decided that this was your career path, did you tell your family right away? Were they supportive about it? Were they not supportive about it?
No, I didn't tell them right away. I was scared that they wouldn't support me. But even though they're very supporting parents, but I knew that deep down they wanted to be a traditional medical doctor. I studied biology in college. I got my bachelor's in biology. And because it was something that was very natural and easy for me to do, sciences it was like an easy subject for me. But
was the journey always easy? Because we had the conversation earlier about like biology. Were you always able just to kind of smooth through science and smooth through school?
Sciences were like the easiest subjects in school.
Okay. Until
I got to college and I felt myself being like struggling. And the social sciences were more interested. So I loved history and philosophy, religions. And then I also got into metaphysical stuff.
What's metaphysical stuff?
Metaphysical.
Medical physical.
So it's more of like the naturals, like law of attraction.
Okay.
I was into Reiki, yoga, meditation. Can you explain
Reiki to me? Because I've seen this online, but like what is Reiki?
Reiki is another type of energetic work where we place our hands lightly over the patient or the person, or we touch lightly the person, and then we transfer energy from the earth, the universe, or from God, whatever you want to call it, and to the person. And it's like we're just like an instrument. We're not putting our own energy into it. It's just being accepting and receptive.
Got it.
Yeah.
So eventually their family did come around. So when you finally told them, when you actually said, okay, Mom, I'm a licensed acupuncturist.
Yes. So I told her maybe like my last year of school.
Okay.
So the school is 4 years.
Okay.
Right? Acupuncture school, usually to become an acupuncturist, you need 4 years of schooling, 3.5 depending. And I told her like towards when I'm about to graduate, I'm like, Mom, and to my dad, Papi, I'm studying acupuncture.
It's like I have to get you ready.
They knew I was studying something. They knew I was in school, but they didn't know what. And they're like, really? And they're like, oh, that's good.
Really? And it was just that simple. And this whole time you caused yourself anxiety and stress. But why did you have that anxiety to begin with?
I was doubting myself.
Okay.
And I thought other people would doubt me too. So, but I was so happy in school.
Would you feel
I felt like that was my niche. I found my niche. Growing up, I thought I wasn't good at anything.
Oh, really?
Even though math and sciences were easy, but I didn't, you know how people are good in music and dance and writing, acting, and have all these talents, I didn't feel like I was good in anything. And until recently, I was like, oh, acupuncture and just helping people, like, I feel confident in this. So
that's good, because that is a skill. It's a skill to basically, it's healing work in a way. It's definitely wellness. Do you feel like your culture had any background or play into why you were nervous in talking to your family? Would you say considered more traditionalist or?
Yeah, they were more traditionalist. They wanted me to be a medical doctor. Even though my dad is a healer. He's traditional. He knows all the traditional herbs from Dominican Republic. He knows, he has special massage techniques that he uses to help people heal when they have, like, let's say, a broken arm.
Really?
And he helps them heal faster.
So why would you be so scared to tell him then? Do you?
Because he still wanted me. You know how parents want their children to become better than they are. So he still wanted me to become a traditional medical doctor. He didn't want me to do what he did. He told me that he would teach me the stuff that he knew, and I can add it to, like, the regular medical field.
Okay.
But not just do that because I wouldn't make a living out of it. He wanted me to be secure and have a profession.
I think most parents want that. They don't want their, like my mom would say, she doesn't want me to suffer. When I told her, like, I'm like, oh, Mom, I'm doing, like, TV. And she's like, oh, no, darling. And I'm like, okay, Mom, thanks. So I know, obviously, being a licensed acupuncturist, acupuncture is really important. For those viewers at home right now who are watching who may not understand why this is beneficial and why they should invest, because it's obviously not a free service, it is something you pay for. Why should someone invest in acupuncture?
Because it's about taking care of yourself. We invest in clothes and food, and this is just part of it. Now people are going more to the gym and eating healthier. And I think this is an add-on to that, because acupuncture is not just for pain management or for stress. It helps with, like, digestive issues, with anxiety, depression. It helps with autoimmune diseases are very common now. So it helps with all these things. And instead of just taking pain medications and just filling yourself up with all these prescription drugs, you can also use acupuncture to help with the healing process.
So how does acupuncture actually work? So obviously it's needles. I remember when I first told my mom that I was going to go get acupuncture, because I started doing it recently, she started freaking out. She goes, is that the one where they put all the needles in you? I'm like, yes, Mom. It is. She goes, no, they're going to open up, give you scars. I'm like, there's not going to be any scars.
No.
And my dad was the same way. I always paint my mom as the one who does all that, but my dad was the same way as well. So, like, for the people at home who might have those same fears, like, can you reassure them that it's not like that, and why, like, and what it does to, like, this, like, I know, I believe it brings, like, blood to the area. So talk a little bit more about that.
Blood flow.
Yes, say that again. What is that?
Stimulates blood flow.
Right.
So the needles, first of all, are super tiny. They're not the regular needles that you go get to draw blood. You can actually fit like 100 needles into one of those, of the acupuncture needles.
Wow.
And then you might feel a prick. Sometimes you'll feel a prick. Sometimes you won't even feel anything when they insert the needles. And it's not all over the body. There are specific points in the body that we come up with when we diagnose the person. And we pick those points to help bring the blood flow, to balance the chi, the yin and the yang.
So what's the chi, the yin, and the yang?
So these are all Chinese terms.
Okay.
So chi is very common now. Chi is like, it's not the same as energy, but it's something like energy.
Okay.
Right? So all your organs, your cells, everything in your body is made up of chi. And we want free flow of chi. You know, and the yin and the yang, it's all about balance. Day and night, up and down. So this world is about duality.
Right.
And so we need both to work together to have balance in our lives. And so with acupuncture, we're able to have that balance.
Oh, nice. So, like, gets the blood flowing.
Yes.
I definitely know, like, would you say it has anything to do with inflammation? Like, can it bring down
It
inflammation?
helps decrease inflammation. There are specific points for that.
Okay. And I know we're going to talk about the points later on in the show, and I'm actually getting the cue that we actually have to take a quick break. So all of you who are watching at home, I hope you come back, because we have some more amazing discussion about acupuncture and trying to demystify what you think you know about it. Hope to see you on the way back.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Mary Van Rose, and you're watching Healthy Living in the Bronx. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Mary.
Welcome back. So we were talking all about you being a licensed acupuncturist, trying to demystify some of the negative things or like fears people might have about it. So when we first met, we met at a wellness brand. I mentioned this earlier on in an interview. And my face, I said to you, probably looked really shocked, right? Do you get that reaction often? If so, why do you think that is?
I get it all the time because a lot of people think that to become an acupuncturist, you have to be Asian, you know, and then they see a black Latina woman and they're like, what? Like, how do you get into that? Like, do you have to learn Chinese? And they come up with all these different
So what's the
theories.
the craziest theory you ever heard?
Well, recently, this happened, I would say 2 months ago.
Okay.
I had a patient and she brought in her husband for the first time. So, but when they came in, I was treating a patient in one of the rooms. So when I came out, I greeted them and then she's like, oh, he was very surprised to see you. He's like, is she the acupuncturist? Where's the Asian lady? He was expecting, yeah.
Wow, okay. So he had never been here before. He just said, where's the Asian lady?
Yeah, where's the Asian lady?
and wait, but it was your business. So what's the name of your business?
Sano Acupuncture.
Okay, so Sano Acupuncture, and he still assumed that there was an Asian person coming out.
Yes.
So what's the history behind the name of your business?
So Sano is the last part of my last name.
Okay.
So my last name is Campusano.
Okay.
Right, and I wanted, a lot of acupuncturists use their names as the name of their business, but I didn't want to be so direct.
Okay.
And also Sano in Spanish means health.
Really?
Yeah,
and
heals.
healing. So that's like been in your family for
Yes.
generations, this healing work. Okay.
Yes.
Makes sense why you gravitated towards this. But I remember like when I was interviewing you, I was looking at some papers, you know, doing my research. I noticed that your name was actually spelled with a Z, but in your business it's with an S.
Yes.
Why?
Like, that's not your last name.
Like, what's she talking about? What's she talking about?
So yeah, so when I was born, the nurse made a mistake and misspelled my last name. So
Okay.
instead of using an S, she used a Z.
Wow.
Like Campuzano instead of Campusano. And it's been a hassle for me to change it, so I just kept it that way with a Z. I was born in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So I would have to go back to Puerto Rico, they told me, and do the whole court thing and change my name. And I'm like, no, let's just keep it that way. So I'm the only one in my family with a Z in my last name.
So you are the first of your name, technically.
Yes.
You have a brand new
I
name.
started
a new trend in the family legacy. So I know for a fact, being someone who's really into wellness, and I talk to a lot of wellness professionals, I find out wellness professionals take care of everybody. They do an amazing job at it, but they tend to forget about themselves.
That's true.
What do you do to take care of yourself? And has wellness, because it seems like be something that you've kind of been raised with, do you find struggles with it? How do you overcome those struggles?
A lot of people ask me that, like, do you get acupuncture? I'm like, yes, of course.
Okay.
I mean, I give acupuncture, I also receive acupuncture. But unfortunately, I don't get it as often as I would like because of time.
Okay.
And so to keep myself balanced, I meditate a lot. I try to meditate at least twice a day.
Oh, for how long?
Just a few minutes, 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I usually have a guided meditation. So I'll go on YouTube or on Spotify and listen to an audio.
Oh, on Spotify. I've done YouTube in the past. Like these guys called, I think, the Honest Guys, and they have like a long list of like guided meditations. So do you have like a favorite?
I really like anyone from Hay House.
Hay House. Okay.
Yes, Hay House is good. I also like to listen to Abraham Hicks,
Okay.
which they also explain a lot about law of attraction.
Okay.
But they also have guided meditations. So I like listening to those. And I do it in the mornings, right before I start my day. That's the first thing I do. And I also have my gratitudes. I thank God for everything. And right before going to sleep, I feel it's very important to meditate.
So one thing I'm really big in is like rituals and routines before I go to sleep. Do you have like a nightly ritual in addition to like the meditation? Do you like do like long baths? Like, is there something else that you do?
So meditations are a must before going to sleep. Also, sometimes I'll get like a bucket of water and I'll fill it up with water and Epsom salt.
Okay.
Right? Or you can
So what is the Epsom salt
Or you can
for?
put any essential oil that you like lavender is very relaxing. And so it helps with like the swelling.
Okay.
And so the water should reach mid calf.
Okay.
Yes. So there are certain points on the legs that are really good that help stimulate those points. They're very relaxing, grounding.
And
Because in New York we have a hectic schedule.
this is very true. So I was gonna say, because you're based in the Bronx. Actually, your business is based in the Bronx.
Yes, my main business is in the Bronx. I also work in Manhattan with
Okay.
other acupuncturists.
Okay.
Yes, under Irina Blogman.
Okay.
But my own personal business is in the Bronx and Southern Boulevard.
So why, out of all the places in the world, to create your own, like to have your own like storefront, why did you choose the Bronx?
Okay, so I live in the Bronx. And growing up, you always hear people say, oh, I'm going to get out of the hood.
This is
Yeah.
fact. This is true.
And I had that mentality as well. But then instead of moving recently, I was like, okay, now I'm making enough money. I can move to a nicer area. I was like, no, instead of leaving the hood, why don't I improve my hood? And I see I know a lot of business owners that are doing the same thing. They want to make their neighborhood nice and for themselves and for others. And so I noticed that in my neighborhood, there are no acupuncturists. I haven't seen any.
I was gonna say, like, this is something I have not seen in
Yeah.
the Bronx. I haven't gotten treatment in the Bronx. So
There are a few, but they're like spread out, like mostly northern, like closer to Yonkers, but like in the southern part or the eastern part, I have not seen.
did you have any fears about that? Did you say, oh, my community is not gonna support this business because they're gonna be too fearful? Did that ever cross your mind?
It has.
Okay.
It still does.
Okay.
But it's something that is a leap of faith.
Okay.
And there are people that are accepting, and I'm not doing it just for myself. I'm doing it for people that want the service. They don't have to go to Manhattan to get acupuncture
Right.
or travel anywhere far. They have it right there.
So this obviously has not been a short road for you. This is something that's been in the making for a very long time. I think sometimes people often see, an independent business owner and they just automatically think it just happens overnight. It was so simple. So to anyone who wants to become an acupuncturist, one, and then for someone who wants to become their own, own their own business, what advice would you give to them?
I would say that it's important to love what you do.
Right.
Right? And it's also have trust in yourself, have confidence in yourself, because this is something that it's anything that you're meant to do, it will happen.
Yeah.
And so just find out what you feel like your niche is and just go for it.
When that fear sets in, what should they do? Like when fear hit you, how were you able to keep going?
So when fear comes in, because it does, this morning it did.
People coming here.
Coming here. I just have to remind myself that in life, we have so many things to be grateful for, and we have to focus on the positive always.
Right.
Those are the important things.
Not
in
what
our
can go
life.
wrong, but what can go.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So we're actually getting a cue that we have to take a quick break. So to all of you watching at home, I hope you make your way back. We're just going to take a quick break. Joanne is going to tell us about pressure points and how we can relax at home. I hope to see you shortly.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. I'm Raven Rose, and you're watching Healthy Living in the Bronx. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Mary.
So we've been having an amazing time talking about your being a licensed acupuncturist. So now I want to talk about to the viewers at home, like how can they possibly like explore their pressure points at home and hopefully find some techniques to relax.
Okay, so these are traditional acupuncture points that I usually needle, but if you don't have a needle, or if you don't have access to acupuncture, you can do these points at home with your finger. You just press with your finger, or you can get like a pointy thing and just press on them. So the first one, so these are all relaxing points.
Okay.
And the first one is by your wrist, And basically you can locate the point by placing your 2 fingers from the wrist crease, and then where the index finger lands, that's the point, and you just press down on it. So yeah, so that's a good way. You just press down for a few seconds.
Should I lift my hand off the table? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter, just relax your arm.
Okay.
And
what is this good for?
So this one, locally, is good for wrists.
Okay.
We tend to use our wrists a lot, especially if you have your computer job,
Right.
a desk job, and you like using the mouse or typing, right? Carpal tunnel syndrome.
Oh, wow.
Right? It's
So
very
this would
common.
help. Okay.
So that's good. Also, it's good to open up the chest. So this is a point for
Oh, really?
for this.
It's funny because when I get my acupuncture done, my lady, she normally goes into like my legs, like my lower legs, and she said it's good for my lower back.
Yes.
So what is the difference between the two? Like, why can she do that?
So distal points are usually like around the wrist, hands, the extremities,
Okay.
or on the ankles, the feet, and the legs, and they help with points like with problems that you may have like on your back, on your neck,
Right.
shoulders. So those are distal points. Now we can also needle directly in the areas, and these are called local points.
So what's another like local point? So we have the wrist. What about the head?
So another relaxing point would be the top of the head, and it's like the crown chakra,
The crown chakra.
right?
Wait, I'm gonna say that again. Crown chakra.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're into chakras, into meditation, aura, that's so you can just press on that. That's also.
If I have a
relaxing.
migraine, is this a good place
And
to
it's
start?
also for headaches, migraines.
Because I always do like this. Is that bad?
No, that's really good.
Okay.
Yes.
So, that
So
actually
these
is a
are
good
their
thing.
points here also
Okay.
for headaches, and you can press down.
Oh, just press
And
them.
then you can press here as well on the top for headaches, just to relax.
I know that's like something that's like growing in the United States, like people getting chronic migraines.
Mm-hmm.
So what's another pressure point for like migraines? I know a lot of my viewers might suffer with that. Is it like
So-
here?
So yes, so you can do these points here. This one I also do a lot for migraines. It's on the tip of the ears, if you see.
My ears are big. I don't know how I'm putting it here.
It's on the top of the ears.
Mm-hmm.
So you just press on those. And then, so all these points around the head are really good. And for migraines as well. Migraines and for sinuses.
Okay.
Around the face and the head, and then like here.
I've seen some people like do the chest before. Is that like, what does that do? Like
That's
the-
also a relaxing point.
Oh, so what does this do?
So it also opens up the chest, helps you breathe better.
So how would I do that? I do it 3 fingers, 1 finger? Like how do I do
So it's just locating, I would say the fastest way is just to locate the middle of the sternum, right?
it? Okay.
You just press, and you'll feel tender. You'll feel it like sensitive. Yes.
And how long would you normally hold these points?
A few seconds.
Just a few
Yes,
seconds.
few seconds.
So like, is there like a rule? Like, would I count to like 5 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3
Yes.
Mississippi? She's like,
You can say Mississippi. Also, always remember to just breathe in deeply, slowly.
do this one with me. So ready?
So you breathe in, you count to 3, and then you hold. I like to hold my breath for 3 counts. So
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and then breathe out slowly. 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, and hold, and then breathe in.
I think breath work is so important too.
It is.
That's something that I recently learned.
We
so.
forgot to breathe, and breathing is important.
Law of attraction
Yes.
earlier in our
I'm
interview.
really into law of attraction.
So tell me a little bit about this and what it's done for you in your life, because when I think about law of attraction, I've heard about it, but I never really feel like I've practiced it.
So we practice it unconsciously. We're always doing it. We
Okay.
attract everything in our lives. We attract,
Okay.
and whether it's bad or good, you know. And in life, it's all about learning and expanding and about progress.
Right.
Nothing in life is perfect. And so sometimes we might go through difficult situations, and it's not a negative thing. It's a way for us to grow and learn.
Okay.
You know, and then also if you want to attract positive things into your life and positive people, you yourself have to be positive.
So I have a deep.
So it's not just about thinking about I'll just imagine myself being happy. No, you have to be that. You have to start to train your brain and your body.
So I have a deep question. What do you feel about people who say there's no such thing as a bad day? If you have breath in your body, you're living, it's not a bad day. What do you say to people like that? Because I have my own reserves on what I feel about that statement, but I want to know what you think, because I know you're a wellness specialist. Like, how do you feel about that statement?
So it's all relative.
Okay.
So what is bad? So
Right.
like I said, difficult. A lot of people. I listen a lot to motivational speakers, and one of them is Eric Thomas.
Okay.
And he talks about like how people, they correlate being something difficult as something bad. Right? And it's not that way.
Okay.
We go through our struggles and our issues to grow, because if there was no struggle, then
We wouldn't be where we're at.
exactly, we wouldn't even want to change.
So I had a conversation with one of my best friends, and after I had a situation, and I told him like my body's hurting and things just don't feel good, and he was like, "Well, you're blessed to be alive." And I think that's true, but at the moment I was hurting.
Of course.
And when you hear that over and over, I feel like sometimes it makes us suppress our emotions and suppress what it is that we're going through. And I feel like that's dangerous. I think it's dangerous to say there's no such thing as a bad day, or like you don't have, quote, I guess in this term, like difficult days.
Exactly.
I think it's okay to embrace if you're sad, you're mad, or whatever emotion, because when you don't acknowledge it, you suppress it and you don't deal with it.
Yes, you have to embrace all your emotions.
Right.
They're all necessary.
This is true.
And also like the bad ones, like anger and sadness. We have to feel those. So once we have those feelings, we know what we want and what we don't want.
Yes. Is there any like piece of literature that you use to help you with processing your emotions? I know I have 2 books in my mind that had definitely helped me on my emotional journey, like my emotional intelligence, understanding the world around me, but more importantly, understanding myself.
There are a few books, I would say, going, like I've mentioned before, how I love Abraham Hicks.
Okay, yes.
They have written a lot of books. I think any book from Abraham Hicks is good.
It's the good way to go.
This one that's called Ask and Receive. That one is really good.
Have you ever read The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer?
No.
Oh, it's such a good one. Like if you're really into spirituality,
Yeah?
I recommend that one.
Okay.
And another person I love, anything by, because you like social sciences in college, Brene Brown. Brene Brown, I kid you not, has gotten me through some difficult times in my life. And one of my, like I actually read all her books, but the last one I got up to was Rising Strong. She talks a lot about like, a lot of time we internalize what other people might be thinking about us, when in reality, they're not even thinking about us. It's just the scenarios that we create in our mind and how we react to those things.
Exactly.
This is so true. I feel like I've learned so much today, and thank you for demystifying a lot of, I guess, stereotypes that people have around acupuncture. I hope our viewers at home learned a lot too. I just want to thank you for coming on the show. Now, if anyone wants to learn more about you or your business, where can they go?
So they can go to sanoacu.com. That's SANOACU.com. And there you can contact me. You have my email, my phone number there. And I also wanted to mention that Sano Acupuncture is not about acupuncture. I want to have massage services there for people, classes, workshops. And so people can just go and relax and get out of the hectic Bronx world that, we tend to live.
So again, thank you. I want to take a quick second and thank you to all my viewers at home for tuning in. I hope to see you in the next episode of Healthy Living in the Bronx. I'm your host, Marvin Rose. Thank you guys.